Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Langer at the Mic live episode, our Dallas Cowboys versus San Francisco 49ers postgame show here on Langer at the Mic. The Dallas Cowboys win a shootout. Yes, a shootout against the San Francisco 49ers, obviously with CeeDee Lamb's big return there on the onside kick and with the 49ers Hail Mary pass as time expired, the most unglorified Hail Mary probably of all time. But yeah, 41-33 was the final in Dallas. The Cowboys improved to 5-9 and the Niners dropped to 5-9. And the Cowboys, what's interesting to me about this game is that the Cowboys won the exact same way that they lost so many games in 2020. They forced San Fran into 4 turnovers, 2 interceptions by quarterback Nick Mullins, and the fumble caused by DeMarcus Lawrence, and the fumble caused by Dorrance Armstrong on the punt return. And the Cowboys have scored 24 points off those turnovers, something that we have not seen from the Dallas Cowboys in all of 2020. And obviously, to go with that, they had great field position the entire game, and they forced the 49ers into long fields with, just pinning them deep with punting, which I'll get to in a little bit with the Hunter Nicewinder. And yeah, the Cowboys, like I said, they won the same way that they lost so many games in 2020. And I question, where has this been all year? I mean, the 49ers are probably the only other team that has been more banged up than the Dallas Cowboys in 2020. But at the same, and obviously they lose Raheem Mostert in this game, and they lost Jeff Wilson for a bit, so they had to go down to Tevin Coleman at running back. But yeah, this one again is just the Cowboys finally won the way that they have lost so many games so far in 2020. Shout out again to LP Ladouceur, of course, for playing in his 251st game, the most all-time by a Canadian in the NFL. Truly remarkable, and congratulations to LP Ladouceur once again. Now, the good things in this game, I mean, again, the Cowboys are still somehow alive in the division race, and I think the Washington football team actually just lost to the Seahawks. I'm just going to confirm that right now. Where is it? So the Seahawks unbeat the Washington football team. So the Cowboys are still alive for the NFC East division race somehow. But we'll get to the draft position issue in a little bit. But yeah, the Cowboys did unfortunately lose draft position. I was really upset about that against, after the game against Cincinnati, how the Cowboys lost so much draft position, or could have lost a lot of draft position. They didn't from that game. But in this one, they more than likely did lose a lot of draft position, which, again, I'll get to that in a little bit. Let's talk about the game first. So the Cowboys have found players that they can be excited about and that they can absolutely, expect to have good roles in 2021. Let's start by talking about Tony Pollard. He was great in replacing Ezekiel Elliott. They honestly didn't even give him as many chances as you would have thought. He had 12 rushes, but he finished with 69 yards rushing and 5.8 yards per carry. And obviously that long 40-something yard knockout punch to put the Cowboys up. I think it was by 10 points at that point. So yeah, just that alone right there is just shows how, that's what you want from your running back in today's NFL, is you want your running back. What the value in a running back is to obviously, be efficient in running the ball, but also to be able to break games open every now and then. And Ezekiel Elliott hasn't done that for the Cowboys since earlier in the year. He has not done that all year. And sure, okay, he's been banged up in the last couple of games, but Tony Pollard is capable of breaking a game open, and he did that. He delivered that knockout punch to the 49ers, who after that were just, they were down by 10 late in the fourth quarter. Not much they could do. And yeah, so Ezekiel Elliott, though, I'll give him credit. His durability, this was the first game in his entire 5-year career so far that he's missed due to injury. So kudos for Ezekiel Elliott for still playing through, for being durable as a running back in the NFL, which is very difficult to do. Credit Ezekiel Elliott for that. Ezekiel Elliott is really good in short yardage situations. I still believe he would still be my guy, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, or on the goal line. Ezekiel Elliott's still better than Tony Pollard in that regard, or taking a 2 or 3 yard loss and turning it into a no gain or +1 or +2. But still, Tony Pollard is an awesome, you could say, complimentary back, but he could even be maybe like ideally in a 50-50 split between him and someone else, him and Ezekiel Elliott, him and, if it was in New Orleans, I feel like Sean Payton would use him perfectly well with Alvin Kamara. So yeah, so Tony Pollard is awesome, and the Cowboys definitely have to use him more. So in the game, Tony Pollard finished with also 6 receptions, 63 yards, including that 30-yard scamper early in the first half. So he finished with 132 all-purpose yards in this game. And also, going back to being able to break a game open, Tony Pollard now has 3 explosive runs in 2020 compared to Ezekiel Elliott, who has only 2. But here's the other thing. Tony Pollard has rushed 75 times. He has 75 attempts. And Ezekiel Elliott has 211 rushing attempts. So, yeah, again, that just says how Tony Pollard is that guy that can break a game open more so than Ezekiel Elliott right now. But anyway, so that's the running back situation. Awesome game by Tony Pollard. CeeDee Lamb had one bad drop on a third down attempt. I forget if it was late in the first half or the second half. But besides that one drop, CeeDee Lamb was awesome. 5 receptions, 85 yards, that return touchdown. He just, like I said going into this game, I thought that CeeDee Lamb would have a really big game out of the slot, and he did. So good on him. Cooper struggled. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, just CeeDee Lamb played a really great game in this one. You also got to see the Andy Dalton-Schultz connection. Andy Dalton found Dalton Schultz for a touchdown. And honestly, Dalton Schultz will be an excellent complementary piece to Blake Jarwin in 2021. He had Dalton Schultz, and I'm confusing myself here. Dalton Schultz had 2 receptions, 14 yards in the touchdown, but also I think he was really good in terms of blocking as well. So again, I think Dalton Schultz will be a great second tight end to back up Blake Jarwin in 2021. Also, what was really good in this game, your secondary got healthy. You got Anthony Brown returning from injury. You got Chido Awuzie. You got Xavier Woods. Well, Xavier Woods ended up getting hurt, but also Donovan Wilson. But all that being said, they played really well in this game. And Donovan Wilson, you found one of your starting safeties for 2021. I don't know if the other guy will be Xavier Woods, because his contract's going to be expiring, and he has had a very, subpar season compared to his previous 4 years since getting drafted in 2017. So previous 3 seasons. But Donovan Wilson, I think you have to pencil him in as one of your starting safeties in 2021, unless you can, manage to sign a really good free agent or trade for someone substantially better. But yeah, Donovan Wilson, heck of a game again. He had the interception. He had an almost interception also on the next drive after that. He had 6 tackles. He did take a roughing the pass or a head-to-head penalty, but that just, again, shows how he has that physicality, that edge to this Cowboys defense that without him in the last 2 games, the Cowboys defense didn't have that physical edge that they had today, they had against Minnesota and even against Washington before that fake punt. Chido Awuzie also had a really, really good game. He coming back from injury. Chido Awuzie is in a contract year as well. I think he should be re-signed if the Cowboys could have him back on the cheap, because he's not the best. He's not a top corner in the NFL, but he's also not going to kill you. He'll give up plays, but he'll also force. I just, from watching Chido Awuzie in the last couple of years, every time he gets beat, it's because Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or whoever is just. It takes a perfect play to beat Chido Awuzie. It takes a perfect pass. He's always in pretty good coverage. It's just he doesn't get the interceptions. He doesn't always deflect as many passes as you want him to deflect, but he's usually in pretty good enough position to cover well enough. And I think that in this Cowboys secondary, where there's not a lot of experience, that will be valuable heading into 2021, especially since that means you could have Trayvon Diggs, who came back today as well, and he wasn't as involved in the game, but still that just means Trayvon Diggs doesn't have to cover the other team's number 1 receiver all the time. So great game by Chido Awuzie. Now here's something interesting. Jourdan Lewis also had a really good game. He made a lot of plays. He had a sack off a corner blitz. I think he also had a tackle for a loss. But let me ask you this. Should Jourdan Lewis be a safety? I saw this on my timeline, by the way, on Twitter. So I'm getting this idea kind of from someone else. I don't know who it was. So, but yeah, I saw it on my Twitter timeline. What if Jourdan Lewis was a safety? Think about this. He's a little undersized at 5'10 and 195, But you know who else is 5'10", 195 pounds? Budda Baker. So what if Jourdan Lewis is a safety? What if he's just like a nickel guy that, you know, can sometimes play close to the line of scrimmage and come in on blitzes and or maybe just play deep center field, kind of like Budda Baker maybe. I mean, you saw what he can do back in 2018 in that game against the Saints where he just completely blanketed Alvin Kamara. So I don't think Jourdan Lewis is good enough to be an every down outside cornerback, maybe not even a nickel corner, because he has given up a lot of plays this year. But I think if you put him in the right situation as a safety, as a guy that comes in on blitzes, as a guy that comes in to support the run, because he'll fight, man. He'll fight, he'll battle, he'll be feisty, but he's just not consistent enough playing corner on the outside and maybe not even the nickel. So, and he's a free agent, of course. So that's something that you have to really think about going forward. But again, it would be really interesting to see if Jourdan Lewis can be is maybe a better safety or closer to a safety than he is a corner. We'll see. Just throwing that out there. Leave a comment in the comment section if or on my Twitter here if you think otherwise. And another guy that had a really great game for the Cowboys here, Hunter Niswander. I have to pronounce that well. Hunter Niswander, the punter. I think you can now pencil him in as the punter in 2021 over Chris Jones. He averaged 47 yards on, I think it was 6 punts he had today. Niswander had. He pinned 2 inside the 20. There was one that was also called back by penalty. So really it was 3 that he pinned inside the 20. And that punt that was, I think, down at the 2 by CJ Goodwin was really what set up the Donovan Wilson interception, like 5 plays later on the 3rd down or whatever. So honestly, that's where he shows having a good punter that can pin the other team inside the 10 or inside the 5 on when given the chance to do so is extremely valuable. And DeMarcus Lawrence, again, he also just had a really, really strong game. He was a beast against the run. He got the sack, the forced fumble. Even though the contract might say that he should have more sacks on the year, he's still the best Cowboys player on defense, and he's that leader of the defense. And he is the best Cowboys run defender, and he's the best, the best pass rusher. But again, he just needs some help. You know, he can't exactly do it all on his own. And with that being said, Neville Gallimore had a good couple of flashes in this one as well. He had the tackle for a loss on the goal line or in the red zone against the Niners. I think it was not Tevin Coleman. It was Raheem Mostert. He just blew up the play, just blew right through the left guard and just tackled Raheem Mostert behind the line. And he also had a tip pass. So Neville Gallimore has flashed a lot this year. We just need a little more consistency out of the Canadian guy. So and then overall in this game, the Cowboys, they gave up a lot of yards, but a lot of them I found were empty yards because, like I said, the 49ers had bad starting field position a lot of the game and had to drive through long fields to move the ball. And the Cowboys got run on a lot. They gave up 150 yards rushing, but if you look at the average, like it wasn't crazy. It's not like they got gashed like I thought they would. I knew that they would give up a lot of yards, but I also thought that the Cowboys would have gotten gashed in the running game. And the Cowboys are still really bad defending the run, but it wasn't as brutally awful in this game because the 49ers got their 150 yards on 36 rushing attempts, or an average of 4.17 yards per carry, which is, again, not elite, but I would say it's above average in terms of, efficiency or limiting the other team's efficiency in running the football. Now, the bad from this game. I feel like every single week, Jalen Smith puts out an embarrassing moment on film. Every single week, Jalen Smith just takes a huge poop on film. Last week, it was him turning the wrong way when Samaje Perine ran up the middle and on a draw or a delay, and he was trying to disengage from his block, and he turned the wrong way, and Perine went up the middle. And on this one, it was he had more than the opportunity to take a good angle on Jordan Reed and stop him. I don't know if he would have been, I forget if he would have been short of the 3rd down marker. I think he would have been short of the 3rd down marker when the Niners were moving the ball, but instead he just completely whiffed on Jordan Reed, who was going this way, and Jalen Smith came in like that, so completely whiffed on his tackle, and then Jordan Reed scampered off for the big gain, the big conversion on 3rd down that set up the 49ers touchdown that tied the game, I think, at 24 at that point. So Yeah, just Jalen Smith, another Jalen Smith moment. Overall, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. I can't really say how well he played overall or not. I mean, I think he racked up the tackles as usual, but he didn't make any, game breaking plays, but he had that one embarrassing moment on film. So yeah, and Terrence Steele had another Terrence Steele moment, giving up a sack against Eric Armstead. Terrence Steele deserves credit for playing better these last couple games, but he got burned by Eric Armstead, who had 2 sacks today. Amari Cooper can get going. He had 2 receptions for only 10 yards and 2 rushes for -7 yards. So I honestly thought Amari Cooper was going to have a much better game in this one, but he really just couldn't get going all game. It was more Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. Gallup got hurt, of course. And I feel like Kellen Moore called an awesome first quarter, just an awesome first quarter. I love the motion. I love motioning Tony Pollard into a jet sweep, or not jet sweep, into a toss to the left. I love that. I love, seeing Andy Dalton line up in the shotgun on 3rd and short, and then, motioning in Blake Bell to take the snap and sneak it on 3rd and short. Oh, that's fantastic. I really love what's it called? I think it was just, I don't know if I can't really say I love it, but it was just funny to see what was it? It was a screen to CJ Wilson from Dalton to CJ Wilson, not CJ Wilson, Cedric Wilson to the left, and then Cedric Wilson threw it back to Tony Pollard. I don't know where that was going, but it was fun to watch. And Dalton made a really good throw to CeeDee Lamb also on that 40-something yard catch by CeeDee. But he was I found he missed a couple of throws. Then he managed the game well. He played like a good backup again. Finished 19 for 33, 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, gave up 2 sacks and 96, and he finished with a rating of 96.7. Andy Dalton did, but he didn't turn the ball over. He almost had that fumble there on the first drive of the 3rd quarter, but he didn't turn the ball over. So again, for a backup quarterback, honestly, that's all you can really ask of him. My issue, though, with Kellen Moore, going back to Kellen Moore in the offensive play calling, is why was Noah Brown being targeted so much? Why is your 4th or 5th receiver getting more targets than CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup? Obviously, Gallup got hurt. But why is he getting so many looks? Why were your 2 wide receivers on a 3rd down in the 4th quarter, Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown? What's up with that? That just made me scratch my head. But besides that, again, Cowboys, honestly, it's the first winning streak of 2020. So, good for them, I guess. Good for the players, good for the coaches. But like I said at the top of this video, draft position is in trouble again. Hopefully the Cowboys can still get that top 10 pick if they don't win the NFC East. They're currently, I think, according to Tankathon, at number 9. They got passed by the Panthers, Falcons, and Houston. Well, Miami through Houston and Philly and the LA Chargers. Philly's playing the Cardinals right now. But that might not be awful given how, in watching a couple of different draft podcasts and all that, like I'm just, from hearing what people are saying about the prospects, there isn't like that top 5 defensive prospect in this class anyway, besides the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. I would support drafting a wide receiver, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle. I would be down for that as long as you then trade Michael Gallup in his contract year for defensive help. But I would be down for that as long as it's the best player available, whether you're at 5, whether you're in the top 10. The same way the Cowboys drafted CeeDee Lamb instead of Kayvon Chason last year. I would be down for that again this year, but you got to fix the defense some way, somehow. And the Cowboys can still get that high value, even if they're just on the edge of the top 10, inside or just outside the top 10. But I feel like the Cowboys in 2021, that defense, man, just make it average. Make it average. Be average at stopping the run. Be okay against the pass. Don't be god-awful, and the Cowboys will be fine. Just bring in a good defensive coordinator and good defensive position coaches, and obviously get healthy on offense. Get Dak, get Lyle Collins, get Tyron Smith and Blake Jarwin, get Zach Martin back, get Tyler Biotish, comfortable at center. Just let's roll in 2021. Let's turn it around. And that's pretty much it for this Cowboys 49ers postgame show. Once again, this is Langer at the mic here. Give me a big thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to my channel. Give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Mike Langer. And this has been a Cowboys 49ers postgame show here on Langer at the mic. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again next time. And I wish you a very happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. Take care.